But we'll be fine. It's totally fine doing the show with the two of us. That's okay with me.
Who needs them?
Yeah.
We get to
Fuck
rag
you,
on it.
Chop. Oh, totally. Just like we were going to do with you.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's kind of it's a requirement.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, I'm just really so pleased that these people have sent us stuff.
No kidding.
Um,
There was how many songs did you have there?
We got 7.
7 songs. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's kind
of
cool.
I noticed the was it Insomnium episode we did?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like over 400 views.
I know.
So, it was that was a really popular.
Yeah, surprised me.
Show.
It really did surprise me. Like, wow, we're getting a lot of hits, and we're getting a lot of feedback.
Yeah, that was cool. That's
on the channel. Like people are chiming in. Like that's really cool. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I think I think we can do our thing, and then get going through it. Sound good?
Sure. Let's go.
All right.
Howdy, this is David Sanchez, and you are listening to and or watching Heavy Metal Horror.
I am Montag, master of illusion. What goes up must come down, but not always.
Hey, I'm Dreadbull. There's no chop top.
That's it. We're chopless.
Chop topless.
You are watching and listening to Heavy Metal Horror. Oh, kitties. We got a good show tonight. Hey, we're going to be doing Review Madness. We've had a copious amount of people sent us songs to listen to and review, to give our feedback, and just sharing their music with us. I want to thank everyone who has done that. We're going to go over all these hits. We got some songs. We've even got a movie we're going to talk about.
Many generous donations.
Really, yeah. And the fact that they want to send us stuff to review, we appreciate that. And so we want to say, hey, we're going to give you a shout out tonight. We're going to thank you. We're going to listen to your music, give it a reaction, and send it out in the world. Maybe you guys will find something new that you want to listen to as well. So let me share my screen.
Do you want to list up front what what we've got? Seven
oh, yeah,
songs?
yeah.
Do you want to tell everyone up front what's coming?
Yeah. First, I'll do the list. There's my list. Okay. First, we're going to do a song from a band called Hanz Krypt. So that's pretty awesome. Then we're going to do a song. I think the Hanz Krypt song is, what is this here? Oh, yes, Hanz Krypt, Not Your Sacrifice. Then we're going to do a band called Ulth. And the song is called Feel the Fucking Fog. That is awesome. Our old friends, Richard Clark from Among These Ashes, sent us a song, a new single from their new album called The Enemy and I. And then our other friend, Sebastian Trax from Exit Out, he's got a new band called Ashborn, and he's got a song called Reason to Kill. And then a band called Mr. Lugosi with a song called Captain Howdy. I'm going to guess that's about The Exorcist. A band called Distant. Sent us one called Agent Justice. And then Joe Katie, from Among These Ashes, has a new band called Finality. And they sent us a song called Technocracy. And most of these, actually all of these, are on YouTube, which is pretty cool, the fact that they're on here. And so we are going to be giving those a shot tonight. So
all right.
Well, I want to share the screen.
But the appetites are whetted.
Yes, here we are. Well, let's give a nice listen to Hanz Krypt.
No idea what's coming.
Yours. Yeah, exactly. We have no idea. So here we go. Hanz Krypt, Not Your Sacrifice. I think these guys have been around. Hans Krypt, Not Your
Wow.
Sacrifice. What do we think, Dreadbull?
I mean, that's as old school as it gets. Like, we're familiar with, the new wave of traditional heavy metal that's been popular the last few years, but it sounds like 80s metal brought to with recorded on the modern equipment with all the amenities. This sounds like it was recorded on old analog equipment. This sounds like it's straight from like the 70s. It sounds like authentic old.
Yeah.
Is this song like 40 years old?
I think these guys have been around for quite a while. From what I remember, the email I got from the Hans Krypt was something they've been around for quite a while. So it very well could be something from the 70s or 80s.
Yeah, it sounds old school. It sounds like it was recorded on old like analog equipment. It's got that cool vibe. I mean, it's a great song, right? Very doomy.
Yes.
But yeah, I was surprised by the sound right off the bat, the old school sound. That's cool. Yeah, that was very retro feeling. I'd love to know when this was recorded.
Yeah. We had talked, I'd mentioned to him, I said, we're going to give you a listen. And then because they were interested in coming on the show, I'm like, we'd love to have you on.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd love to know more about this.
Yeah. No, this reminded me a lot of Danzig in a way.
Oh,
the way
yeah,
the singing,
for sure.
or like Misfits,
Yeah.
like that doom kind of meets the Misfits.
Mhm.
That in the vocal styling was even a little, that kind of wailing was almost like Glenn Danzig in the way,
Yeah, I would love to know if this is a more modern recording made to sound old, and how they did that, if that's the case. Because, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, this is old doom metal, heavy.
Totally.
The riff is, I really love that little riff in between right before the chorus, kind of does that little change into it. But this is immediately a headbanger. You're just like, you're in the groove. I'm like, okay, here we go. It's really catchy. And in that return, I mean, as fans of doom metal as we are, like, oh yeah, I would totally listen to this any given day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Excellent. Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
I want to know more about that. I'd love to talk to these guys.
Yeah. All right, Hans. Hey, check out your own Hans Krypt. Here we see some other ones on YouTube. So I gotta turn off these Slack notifications. People are working on a Sunday.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll clear this out. Let's see who's next. We got Ulth
on the list.
Feel the Fucking Fog. I just love the name of that. The name of that song.
It's already off to a good start.
yeah, exactly. So here we are with Ulth, Feel the Fucking Fog. Again, I have no idea what these guys are going to sound like, but we're looking forward to taking the ride. Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be heavy. I say that and they start acoustic.
Yeah. Brave Sir Robert ran away. Okay, wow, yeah. Feel the fucking fog. That is unexpected. Wenn ich aus der Finsternis bin, rufe ich dich an. Feel the fucking fog. Osiedlasz tu ganze na piona. taking like a step towards jazz.
Yeah.
You know?
Huh. Okay. Well, I
Yeah.
don't know. What like is that medieval tavern death metal? I don't know what you call that.
Yeah. That's a
That's
great way to describe it.
uh
Medieval tavern death metal.
like
Yeah. Yeah,
folk
because
death.
folk,
I don't know.
folk death. Um, yeah, totally not what I was expecting at all. But
Uh, yeah, it's like there's nothing else like it, so it's trying to process here on the fly. Like I don't have any, foundation for how to assess that song. And like you said, it kind of transitions into kind of a loungy jazz in the second half. Uh,
yeah, yeah,
wow,
with
it's
those steps.
interesting. Like, man, this would take a few listens to really
Yeah. And I don't know if this is
figure out what's
indicative
going on.
of their catalog or their style, because it was very Spartan. We sound like we had a singer and a drummer,
Yeah, all
a guy playing
acoustic.
acoustic.
It sounds like
And
it was recorded live in a studio almost,
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
it?
I think very much so. And like the drums were kind of muted. It wasn't a
Hmm.
sharp, crisp snare, so maybe they're using like medieval instruments. Who knows?
It
But
sounded like that. Yeah, that could very well be.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it was
Okay, I'm
definitely
intrigued.
even the guitar was a kind of in the mid range. It was kind of a muted. It wasn't like bright and shiny. It was kind of
Yes.
a warmer tone in that. But yeah, I kind of want to hear more now because I want to know is if are they is this their style?
Right,
Which is
right.
really interesting. At first it was almost that acoustic. This almost reminded me of something like Opeth E at first, and
Hmm.
then there were elements like it almost could have been like Jethro Tull again,
Oh yeah.
that folky style, reminiscent of that. Not like it's
Yeah.
imitating it, but like that's what it brought to my mind. Like, oh, okay, this maybe we're going in these directions, but it wasn't. It was kind of his own thing, and then the progression to like that whole jazz step. Like well now we've
Yeah, the
gone to like a
first minute I
lounge.
was waiting for the metal to kick in, like
Yeah,
to go full electric, full death metal. But no, it didn't. And yeah, I'm with you. I wonder if this is it, if this is what they do, if
yeah,
if this is their sound throughout, all their music. It's so, man,
yeah.
that's so
They sent
interesting.
me a couple tracks, 2 or 3 tracks, and this is the one I picked only because of the title.
Okay.
Um, so I will have to listen with these other tracks now.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I'm intrigued.
yes, I want to hear more from this band, Ulth. What a great name too. I mean, Ulth.
Yeah.
And
Interesting illustration there, that sort of medieval style, weird,
right. Yeah,
art.
definitely looks Middle Ages.
Mhm.
Something odd. Yeah. So, well, that was quite interesting. I think a very
Okay. Yeah,
intriguing
for
field, the
sure.
fucking fog. Now we're gonna go to Among These Ashes, Richard Clark, their new album. He sent it to me, The Enemy and I. So we're gonna click over to here, get rid of that. Off. Okay, we know Among These
Okay.
Ashes. They've been on the show and sent us some wonderful posters. As how do I can just move. You can see the Among These Ashes
Yeah, I don't have
posters
mine
right.
to hand.
Dominion
There we go.
enthroned. So this is from there. It's a new one, so here we go. The enemy and
I think we'll probably know a little more of what to expect here.
Yes, I think so. Such a good band, you know?
Yeah.
Fuck.
That artwork is awesome. Oh, wow.
I think this is brutal. Really good.
This freaking rocks, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
That syncopation.
Oh, man.
Stop.
Love those little cymbal accents.
Yeah.
Nice way to end it. Yes. Damn. Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Holy fuck.
That was Everything about it was fucking awesome.
I mean,
Like,
these guys are good. I mean, we like this band. And this is like one of their best songs, I think. And this is just so heavy
oh my
and tight
God, yeah.
and a progression from what they've done before. I mean, Dominion Enthroned is a great album. This I think just goes a step up. There were times where the syncopation, that super heavy, that drummer is killing it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. The matching the riff, just kind of the taking off the guitar and just getting down to that. It really punches it in there. At the time,
those really cool breakdown, groovy sort of sections.
Yeah, a little syncopation, little time change. Almost felt like halftime, slowing down the music. But when they split the vocals, the super high end lines, there were times where like it felt very Grip Inc. in some ways. With Gus Chambers, but hitting higher notes that he wouldn't hit. But wow, I am blown away.
Yeah, the guitar tones kind of reminded me of maybe like some early Testament stuff. Like New Order, Legacy era Testament.
Yes,
which is great. And yeah, I don't know. Like every aspect of it was fantastic.
Great
the
solo,
drumming, all kinds of those little cymbal accents here and there, those little tiny fills, just all those little details. And I love death metal that just doesn't rely on speed, just pure speed throughout. And these guys, throw in all these great little grooves. And even the visuals on the video were fantastic.
Yeah, it's great to read the lyrics. Cool. I appreciate that video, so I can read along with it. I mean, it doesn't rely on one trick. It's got a great hook, great riff, but then it just changes it up. You are on this kind of a ride up and down, and it pulls you right into it. But yeah, it's engaging. I'm definitely going to be listening to this album.
Yeah, that song gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. Guys,
good.
Thank you so much for the song. We got to have you back on the show. Definitely, we got to talk about.
And I see they covered Sabotage, Sirens.
Yes, yes,
dude, I got to check that out.
Yes, yeah. We are big Sabotage fans.
That's some old school stuff there.
Exactly. So we know they're in our wheelhouse. We're all in the same place together. Like, yeah, we are inspired by that same music. We grew up listening to the same music. We love the same stuff. But this was phenomenal, brutal.
Yeah.
I'm
going to be listening to that tomorrow at work.
Yeah,
multiple times.
So good. I hope this album really takes these guys where they should go, and because man, that was
outstanding.
Yeah. All right. So the next track is Ashborn.
Hard to follow.
Yeah. Hey. Hard to follow indeed. With Reason to Kill. Now, I have no idea what these guys are like. So yeah, we are definitely going to be checking them out. So here we go.
It looks brutal.
Yes.
That artwork.
Reason to Kill. Bass and that drum are so heavy. like that guitar part, sound. Yeah, that kind of ringing. Wow.
Dang, man. Really heavily drum driven, isn't it? Like you don't hear music nowadays that's driven so prominently by the drums. You know,
Yes.
like the
Yeah.
guitars are just kind of there in the background doing some little accents. You know, most music now is very, very guitar driven. That makes it really interesting. And it's really dry. The mix is really dry and stripped down. It almost, I don't know, man, it gives it a creepy sort of vibe to me. It was really creepy feeling. Maybe because I'm just sitting there staring at that picture.
Yeah,
too,
that cover. I mean, that's a T-shirt. I want that shirt.
yeah,
You know, I mean,
gruesome.
if you're gonna go to see Ashborn,
They gave me the creeps.
you're gonna get this. This is gonna be the shirt to get. You know, I mean, this is
Right.
the shocker shirt.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the guitar almost played like these arpeggios. It's a big fancy word, I know. But they play these kind of open chords. They play those notes and they just kind of let them ring.
Yeah.
You know, and just kind of let it go. And I love that because it was really driven by the bass, the drums, and then
Yeah.
the time changes, you know, the halftime stuff, and then
Yes.
the brutal double bass stuff, and then changing it here and back and forth. And like then into the chorus where the drummer kicks up and starts doing this kind of a off syncopated beat, you know, doom, ba, ba, doom, doom, ba, ba, doom, doom, ba. It really just kind of drove it because it wasn't just a straightforward beat. It was,
Mhm.
you know, it was like, you know, it was like, oh, okay, now we're taking off. And this song was just really kind of haunting in that regard. It
Mhm.
takes you. The sound is great. I love the guitar sounds,
Mhm.
and you know, it a little bit like Sermon in a way where the drums are so prominent.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah. I thought the vocals and that dry sound, like you mentioned, reminded me a little bit of Pantera in that regard. Not as dry. They're like the Sahara Desert of dry sound, but that style, I can see that kind of that vocal styling. what reminded me a little bit of Pantera. But man, what an interesting sound and a brutal band. I mean, my God, this Ashborn is just really brutal.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we need to get Ashborn and Among These Ashes, Among These Ashborn. There's a tour.
There you go.
There's
Boom.
the tour. Yeah, wow. So impressive. That was great.
That drummer is fantastic. My
yeah,
God.
that was phenomenal. That was
Okay.
phenomenal. So yeah, Sebastian from Exit Out. Man, great stuff there. Thank you so very much. Next we're going to go to Mr. Lugosi, Captain Howdy. I can only imagine Captain Howdy is
who knows?
Yes, here it is. Mr. Lugosi wanted to share about the wild times one can have playing a Ouija board with our song Captain Howdy. Okay. And anyone who's seen The Exorcist, then you know who that is. You've seen The Exorcist, right?
Dreadbull? No, I have not.
What?
Believe it or not, I've never watched The Exorcist.
God, you make my stomach churn. How long have we known each other?
People scared me away from it.
That is the only movie I will not watch that movie alone at night. Fuck that. No.
Yeah, I've heard too many of the people say shit like that. I will be haunted
for weeks. Every time I wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, I'll be expecting something to jump out of the fucking room.
And this is why I never watched it. Like, why would I put myself through that?
You got to watch it at breakfast time, then spend the rest of the day watching The Simpsons and kind of take the bad feelings away until the night.
Yeah, you got to cleanse yourself before
in the dark,
before the sun falls.
Right. Yeah, jump into the pool of holy water. All right, so here we go, Mr. Lugosi with Captain Howdy.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Captain Howdy. Be coming for you. First there's me. Wanna come out and we will make you say bad things.
Nice, man. Some 90s groove metal.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was like
Um,
Rob Zombie meets Marilyn Manson,
yes,
you know?
with a little bit of Nine Inch Nails thrown in.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I dig that, man. That was kind of
Yeah.
that took me back to when I had my nice sound system and my Explorer with the big old subwoofers in the back. Like I'd have been cranking that song. A
Would
lot of
have
bass going.
been
Yeah.
bouncing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, totally. I mean, I figure with Mr. Lugosi is obviously played to, Bela Lugosi, the horror actor from the classic, Dracula, the Frankenstein movies, and, the old Universal stuff. I figured in the title, we're got a horror fan. That's good. So you
Mhm,
get that Rob Zombie aspect with the look, um, and definitely that Marilyn Manson kind of shock value,
mhm.
And yeah, this is I don't know again all their music. I definitely want to hear some more. We got the other one. There's another video for Drink You. So I mean, obviously there we go. But this is fun, and every bit as fun as the Rob Zombie fun, which I think Rob Zombie tends to be a little more manic and like it gets the beats per minute's a little more danceable, like Dracula and things like that.
Yeah.
But the Marilyn Manson, the darkness of it, the voices, it's just fun. I don't know how you
Yeah,
could not
cool
have
video.
fun.
I like the
Yeah,
theatrics.
everyone's dressed up,
Mhm.
like I don't know how you could not have fun being in a band like that,
Yeah, and you can't help but get the head nodding, listening to this song.
It
So
was immediate, super heavy beat, keeps you going. You
yep.
get that. It's a head nodder.
Mhm.
And I bet that's a crowd pleaser when they go out and play. I bet that is
It's gotta be.
something everyone really, really likes, enjoys as well. Excellent, Mr. Lugosi.
Yeah, love that.
That was fun. Yeah. So yeah, thank you for that. All right, so we are down to Distant. Here's oh, I like their logo already. A Argent. Oh, sorry, I said Agent, just Argent
Agent.
Justice
Oh,
from
Argent.
Century Media. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
That was
Wow.
brutal. I mean, that was just a
Um,
wall of sound assaulting you,
it just
uh, for
was,
7 minutes.
yeah. I mean, we've talked about some albums having like a soupy or sludgy sound, like Dio's Strange Highway. This thing might be the sludgiest thing I've ever heard before.
Yeah,
We are wading through pools of coagulated blood. That's what I felt
you're
like.
right.
This is so goddamn brutal.
Yeah, I feel kind of ill-equipped to even assess something like this because this is kind of beyond my threshold of metal listening.
Yeah.
Like I just this level of death metal has never grabbed me, and I have a hard time kind of figuring out what the hell's going on. I have no idea what he said. Like,
Right, it's extreme, and there are
like I
multiple
know
singers.
it's a vibe and a sound that is popular. I mean, there's many bands like this, and I've never clicked with it, so I don't really know what to what to say about it.
Yeah, it's hard to distinguish anything coming like instrument wise.
Yeah,
There are
yeah,
layers and layers and layers of things. It did sound very haunted house. I mean, very creepy. The
yeah.
chords were
Right.
discordant, and
It is creepy
the
as hell.
notes. It's very eerie, and brutal. It's like this is the kind of stuff that you feel like when if you're gonna go to hell, this is what you're gonna be hearing. Like
Yeah, on the
what
way
you're
down.
the soundtrack you're gonna be hearing, like watching a brutal German fucking death metal movie,
Yeah.
or hardcore. It's the stuff where people get limbs sawed off and shit,
It's like everybody's just playing as hard and fast as they can, and every so often a beat kind of breaks through.
Yeah, but there was also slow parts, so like
Yeah,
slow
right.
and wound
Mhm.
down, but everything's tuned down so low. But there were multiple layers. I mean, there are like a dozen guys in this thing. We got Suicide Silence,
Yeah,
Amir,
there's like
Abbey Falls, our
all kinds of vocal layers
Angel
going
Maker.
on.
It's like, yeah, so we have instrument layers, vocal layers, and percussion, and then it was fast at times where I could hear the different vocalists coming in. Some were the brutal, like lower,
Yeah.
some
Mhm.
more the higher screechy kind, but it was such a wall of sludge sound.
Yeah, it's just like
It's
sonically
overwhelming.
yeah, exactly. That's the word I was
Yeah,
gonna use. It is
yeah, and
overwhelming.
this is not saying this is not good, by or anything against it. It is just an assault. I mean, you
Mhm.
don't do extreme metal like this if you're not expecting to make an assault. That's
Yes.
really what it is. And as far as that goes, it was effective and creepy
Mhm.
as all get out. Because once in a while you hear some guitar chord, some notes coming through that, like melody in a way, like those are creepy notes. Those are minors and stuff. Those are eerie.
Yeah, it was all very unsettling. It was very
Yeah, the
unsettling.
video didn't help. I had to watch away. Like, man, I can't do
Yeah.
the movement. I was like, okay, I can't do the flashy movie stuff. Moving around like Blair Witch Project made me vomit. I can't do that. But yeah, this was brutal. Distant, you win the fucking brutal award, man. You get it, hands down. The most.
And you were right. The hard to read logo equals brutality.
Yeah, I couldn't read
Damn.
I couldn't read a letter of any of those things, but everything looks like splattered broken glass and splattered, and spread out vines. Then this is it.
It's
We're
gonna
in
be
for
heavy.
a treat. So yeah, man, what? Whew. Here we go.
Whew, well done, I guess.
Yeah, and that was a long song, and so whew, yeah, there we
I
go.
cannot process all that.
It's a lot. I kept on wanting to go back and like into the recording process and like, okay, what was the first track? What was it like when there were only like 4 tracks going on? Instead of like, it feels like there's like 14 tracks.
Yeah, it
14
really
layers.
does. And
Just
it's all just hammering at you, relentlessly and
relentlessly, just brutal. Like there's like one little kind of moment of light, kind of.
Yeah.
About 5 minutes in, like, this is the light mix.
Very brief respite.
Right, like you're gonna take a breath and we're gonna pull you back down into the coagulated blood pool. Yeah. So there you go. Distant Argent Justice. That was fucking brutal. Thank you very much for that. And our last band that we're gonna be doing a live review from is our friend Joe Cady, also from Among These Ashes, his new band Finality, Technocracy. So here we go.
Whoa, what a nod time signature. Yeah.
The drums are playing on the off. Yeah, that's yeah. It's like a blast beat.
Yeah.
On the offbeat, yeah. I love that guitar riffing.
Wow. Yeah. I feel like I'm hearing a lot of different eras of music all wrapped into one.
Yeah. This is an unexpected sequence here. That's really nice. The video's awesome too. Yeah.
Great song.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, there's so much going on in that song. Like that's going to take me multiple listens to kind of process all that. It was very progressive in a lot of ways. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, right off the bat, you kind of think, oh, that's kind of a Maiden type guitar sounds. And then it's kind of like Halloween, and then
Yes.
I don't know, some of the
I got a
vocals
lot of
reminded me of
Halloween in that European metal sound.
yeah, some of the vocals reminded me of Mike Patton, like Faith No More kind of
Yeah,
stuff, and
yeah.
it was
And the theme, the technocracy, the whole science fiction. It's also a current. Look at what's going on today with the AI invading us, and get that science fiction-y feel.
yeah,
Wow, what a surprisingly complex sound
yeah,
from
just an
these guys.
epic song.
Yeah, yeah, and the singing is great. There was, the solos were wonderful. The different parts, the the technical aspects of the song, it kept on changing it, so it didn't get boring. It's a 7-minute song, but it doesn't feel like 7 minutes.
No, not at all.
It's like, oh, okay. I want to hear more from these guys. Like, okay, what else? What else do they do? If this is their sound, then I really like it.
Yeah, I need to. This is going to take like 5 times to process it all. Like so,
Mhm.
and some of my all-time favorite songs were like that. Like the first listen, I'm like, I know that was a good song, but I don't know exactly like how I feel about it. But the more time, it just takes a while. There's so much going on in this song. Yeah, it's going to take a few a few listens to grasp it all.
Yeah,
But yeah, that was excellent, excellent
I
song.
totally,
Hey.
I totally agree. Yeah, just wonderful stuff. Wow, that just so good
Well, that
today.
was a
Um,
fantastic batch of songs.
all of these songs were
Yeah.
super impressive, and just really well done. Uh, I I thought for sure that we would have to come face to face with like the possibility of one of these being a clunker, like because you never know.
Yeah, out of
Um,
7 songs, you're like, yeah, you're afraid that something's gonna be just bad, and you're gonna have to try try to work your way through. Like,
right, and to try to
oh,
be
what do I say
nice
about it?
about it, but like, oh no, these songs were genuinely good.
Yeah.
All of these bands are super impressive,
Mhm.
and I'm happy to hear like the people we've interviewed, among these ashes, them kind of going off and doing different things. I mean, among these ashes, that was great. The Enemy and I, the
Oh,
Joe
man,
Katie doing with Finality.
I think that was
Um,
my favorite of the show.
yeah, and Ashborn, Sebastian Trax,
Yeah.
from Exit Out, really good stuff. And then the surprises, new bands for us. Hans Krypt, Ulth, Ashborn, Mr. Lugosi, Distant, those are all new bands for us. And I mean, there are definitely most of these songs I will put on a short list. And like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna listen to that again and again and again.
Mhm.
Wow, this is awesome. I want to thank everyone for sending us songs to listen to, and asking for our review. I hope you enjoyed the honest reviews. I mean, we're just listening to it for the first time, and wow, I'm just really blown away by this music. You know, there's one thing I did want to talk. We were also Dreadbull. We were also sent a movie link on Instagram through someone's contacted us through Montag Lewis, one word at Instagram, Body Farm the movie, and they sent us the link. It's an independent film company, and basically we have the plot of a videographer, a crew going to investigate the story of a body farm where human decomposition is researched and things like that. Um, I admire the passion of anyone who could make a movie. Okay, like it is a lot of work, and trying to get Dreadbull to be in one of my fantastic movies, but he won't. He won't do it.
I know better.
Missing out, man. Yeah, this is a low budget, so you have things like the use of existing places, and instead of building a set, because you can't afford to build a set, you find places to shoot and you use those as the setting. So there's a great like underground looking like a row of cells, prisoners, look like they shot inside of like an old prison. So that's really nice. There looked like it was an old like an operating room, kind of dimly lit and things like that. There are other places that were like the police station and a few other plain things that were definitely inside of a house, you could tell. But, I've shot 3 movies. I've shot inside houses. I get it, so it's not a slam. It's just, I recognize you used existing places because that's what you got. What I did like most about this movie, without spoiling it, is there is a kind of a, well, I don't know okay, spoiler alert. Just going to give you a spoiler alert. I'm going to give you a few seconds to turn away. There's a M. Shyamalan-like twist to this movie that I did not see coming. That was the most pleasant surprise, like, ah. And then there's a nice little montage where you follow the breadcrumbs where they've been leading all along, the little hints and clues that you would never know on the first viewing. But very much like M. Night Shyamalan, you watch it a second time and you start seeing those breadcrumbs like, I see what he was doing all along. So that was really impressive with Body Farm. I thought the editing was really good. It's very stylish looking, and you got a lot of quick cuts and things like that. A good amount of gore. And, just knowing the process and the logistics of making a movie, I really, admire that. There were some things that I thought I wasn't crazy about. Just a couple of things that stood out. Some of the little snippets of the story and some of the acting tendency to kind of either overact or underact. But I'm not going to fault that, because there are a couple of the actors really just did wonderfully. And again, the story pulls you in, and it goes to a place where you kind of don't expect it to go. And on that, I applaud it. So, but I want to thank Body Farm, the movie. You can go on Instagram, find them, Body Farm, the movie, for sending the link. You can find it. You can watch it on Plex. You can watch it on Roku. So if you have those, definitely check it out. And so there's my brief. Now, if Chop were here, we could have talked about it at length, but Dreadbull's not the horror person, and that's okay. We have enough reasons why we don't like you. We don't want to add that to the pile. But yeah, so Body Farm. So thanks to everyone who sent us music, movies, stuff to listen to. We appreciate it. We are looking
and we enjoy it. That was so enjoyable. Those were great songs.
Yeah. We get to hear music we'd never heard before and listen to bands like, oh, okay, we are going to become fans of these bands now. We are going to seek more out and listen to them. So thanks. And we hope that we can help kind of keep you out there and get that music to an audience and give it a try, look forward to yourself. So, Dreadbull, we got anything else we want to say?
I think I've said all I can say.
Yeah, I think so too. So, hey, you can find Heavy Metal Horror on unsaneradio.com, listen to full episodes, or download to your device. You can find us on Facebook, Heavy Metal Horror Podcast. On Instagram, look for Montag Lewis, one word. Our YouTube page, Heavy Metal Horror Podcast. If you're watching, that's probably where you're at. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. If you know someone who'd like our show, tell them about us. This has been Montag, Astrovolution.
And Dreadbull.
And we got to rip Chop.
Yeah. Screw you, Chop.
Yeah, Chop wasn't here. Oh, I can't come to the show today. I'm sick.
The tummy ache.
Yeah. You're so sick you can't sit there and listen to a song. I'm sick. Yeah, that's right. It's too bad.
That's what you get.
That's what you get. You miss out on the good stuff, Chop. Anyway, this has been Montag. You've been watching and listening to Heavy Metal Horror.
This is Doug Helvering, and you have been listening to Heavy Metal Horror, the best podcast that you've never heard before.